Good morning. I am Karen Mooney, the Congregational Life Director. Whether the Unitarian Church of Evanston is your spiritual home or you are seeking comfort and connection in uncertain times, we are grateful you are with us. We are an inclusive and welcoming community seeking truth and love and striving to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole. We are guided by our principles and values which remind us in every moment and through every challenge that each of us matters and that we are all connected through a vast and beautiful web of existence. Together, let us remember our oneness, our kinship with one another, and may we hold one another in heart and mind with tenderness and careful attention. You'll find many links of connection in the comment section below if you click the show me right underneath the video that you're watching now on YouTube. Including there, you'll find credits for readings and musics, an order of service, information about contributing to our shared offering, and a link to be added to our email newsletter. A few announcements. The all-church Zoom meeting continues on Wednesday at 5:30. We'll send a reminder email in the early afternoon on Wednesday with a link to join. Today, instead of our regular coffee and conversation after the service, we'll head right into our annual meeting via Zoom. Voting members of the congregation should have received a link in an email this morning. Please check in as soon as you can so we can establish a quorum for the meeting. And now I invite you to get your chalices ready. Set a place for yourself and for your family as we join together virtually in beloved community.
Can't hear you, Elaine.
Here in this virtual sanctuary this morning, we do find the world because we are of and in and from the world. Some of us weary with exhaustion, some bitter from too much testing, some with a yearning for more than the surface life, some aching to give and receive, some eager to cross new thresholds. All of us wounded in some ways, all of us triumphant in some ways. The world is all here, among us, within us. And yet, we also consecrate here and now a different time, a different space, in which we can practice settling into the deeper waters of life, in which we can feel the ripples of currents that beckon us into the heart of our lives, into the heart of the world. Come into this space where this morning we consider the practice of the Sabbath as a discipline of wholeheartedness. Come and be welcome.
As we light our chalice in northern Illinois on the traditional homelands of the Council of the Three Fires, the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, and Potawatomi nations. Many other tribes such as the Miami, Menominee, Ho-Chunk, Sauk, and Fox also call this area home. We name these in honor and respect. Please join me in saying the words that are on your screen. The future is not someplace we are going, but one we are creating. The paths are not to be found but made, and the activity of making them changes both the maker and the destination. And now, if you would join me in saying our words of covenant. Love is the spirit of this church, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. And now, join, if you will, in singing as we introduce our newest VUCA members. This information that's showing up will be in your newsletter as well, but we welcome all of these people who have chosen to belong with and for us. Some of you took the membership classes in the building, and some of you participated in our first online ever membership class. It's been a learning experience for all of us. Thank you for your flexibility and openness to trying new things with us as we grow.
Each of you has come to be a part of our community from your own path. You join us as meaning makers and truth seekers. Your presence among us makes us stronger, more vibrant, and more beautiful. This is not the beginning of your belonging here, but it is an important moment on your journey, which we honor now. You have participated in membership classes, you've submitted a pledge form and committed to signing the membership book just as soon as we are able to get to it. Taking these practical steps has helped prepare you to be a part of this beloved community. And we hope that your sense of belonging and spiritual meaning continues to deepen among us.
Along with the freedom of Unitarian Universalism and the rewards of membership, there are responsibilities. Most importantly, each of us is responsible for bringing the gift of ourselves to this community. To the best of our abilities, we strive to give of our time, our talent, and our treasure, as well as receive the gifts of others with open hearts and minds. We ask you to join us in the search for truth and meaning in friendship and through mutual challenge and support. Because our covenant is renewed every time a new person joins and remade by your joining today, we say these words drawn from our covenant of engagement to welcome you, our newest members, into the Unitarian Church of Evanston.
In service of our mission to nurture the human spirit for a world made whole, the members of the Unitarian Church of Evanston create a community of joy and hope, cultivating this ground and sowing seeds of a better world.
I ask you now, if you are a member of this congregation, to say out loud wherever you find yourself these words on the screen that you see with me. Through fuller and deeper relationships with ourselves and each other, together we strive to clarify, strengthen, and live our values, celebrate and honor life and its mysteries through words, music, art, laughter, and tears. Learn and grow spiritually and religiously by nurturing and challenging ourselves and each other. Make the world a better place with the inspiration and support we find in each other and in our Unitarian Universalist values. Embody liberal religious tradition and carry it into the future for ourselves and our children.
I invite our new members to join me in saying, "Toward these ends we covenant, to speak and listen with open hearts and minds, be kind and gracious, understanding our limits and those of others, share and encourage others to share abilities and responsibilities for the operation of the church and its work in the larger community. Practice curiosity and willingness to learn, practice resilience and perseverance wherever we engage."
And we join all together in saying,
Together, we are the Unitarian Church of Evanston. We promise to always keep our hearts open to one another and to all those who are, even now, on their way.
We are enriched by your presence among us. We congratulate you and we welcome you into membership in the Unitarian Church of Evanston. May you continue to grow in love and kinship among us. Now we join together, all of us, in singing a song led by Jen Weisgarver, "From You I Receive."
From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
These are the joys and sorrows that have been submitted to us this morning from the Google form found on our homepage of our website. From Kara Beckon, this was sent on last Sunday. I have the joy to share, Kara writes that she is happy to announce that she purchased her first home and is thankful to have found a great small condo in Uptown way back in early February. She had no idea when the seller asked for a 90-day close how different the world would be, but she is thankful to have lots of time to nest into her new space. And a sorrow she also shared, "I am upset that it took months for the public to learn about Ahmaud Arbery's murder. I am upset that it took this long to arrest his killers. I am upset that it takes a horrific video to create an arrest. I am upset that this story keeps repeating itself. Let us stomp out the plague of white supremacy, demand justice for Ahmaud, and legislate common sense gun control." From Joyce Lofstrom, 4 years ago on May 20th, my son Max Mallory, age 22, died from testicular cancer. Our family misses and remembers him every day. While I am so sad about losing Max, I am quite lucky to have had VUCA then and have all of you now in this journey of life. And this joy, on behalf of Vicki Gregory and the VUCA choir, we say thank you to Adam Goff for the many hours that he has put into assembling, editing, and working his special brand of magic in putting the virtual choir pieces together, and for his generosity in helping to assist those of us who needed extra tutoring. Thanks for being the glue that holds many aspects of our virtual services together. Great work, Adam. From Susan Moss, I'm grateful for the young green leaves and beauty of blooming spring flowers. They bring hope and possibility. From Vanessa Kovaci, I am so grateful to have participated in the virtual journey to membership and to be able to join the VUCA congregation during this time. Thank you. We are so happy you're with us. And the Independence Covenant Group is full of joy as we celebrate Betty Walker's 85th birthday. Betty continues to inspire, lead, and love with her grace and good humor. Happy birthday, Betty. We know that these are not the only joys and sorrows that are on our hearts. I invite you to take a moment of quiet now to read the joys and the sorrows that have been added to the chat. We hold these together in care and tenderness. And at this time, I invite you also to say aloud the names of those who you are holding in your heart, those who are sick or who have died. And I'll add the concern that we all share for Melanie's daughter, who was taken to the hospital this morning with an emergency appendectomy. I know we're all caring for you right now, Melanie, and for your daughter. So lift up those names from your homes, those that are on your hearts, and let their names gather on the winds to be held in this community that knows no walls. We'll hold a moment of silence together. We hold these as well as the many joys and sorrows that remain unspoken. Together, we share our celebrations and we lessen the burden of our grief. I invite you to join me in the spirit of prayer and meditation as we watch this video praise song for the pandemic.
Praise be the nurses and doctors, every medical staff bent over flesh to offer care, for lives saved and lives lost, for showing up either way. Praise for the farmers tilling soil, planting seeds so food can grow, an act of hope if ever there was. Praise be the janitors and garbage collectors, the grocery store clerks and the truck drivers barreling through long, quiet nights. Give thanks for bus drivers, delivery persons, postal workers, and all those keeping an eye on water, gas, and electricity. Blessings on our leaders making hard choices for the common good, offering words of assurance. Celebrate the scientists working away to understand the thing that plagues us, to find an antidote, and all the medicine makers. Praise be the journalists keeping us informed. Praise be the teachers, finding new ways to educate children from afar, and blessings on parents holding it together for them. Blessed are the elderly and those with weakened immune systems, all those who worry for their health. Praise for those who stay at home to protect them. Blessed are the domestic violence victims on lockdown with abusers, the homeless and refugees. Praise for the artists and poets, the singers and storytellers, all those who nourish with words and sound and color. Blessed are the ministers and therapists of every kind, bringing words of comfort. Blessed are the ones whose jobs are lost, who have no savings, who feel fear of the unknown gnawing. Blessed are those in grief, especially who mourn alone. Blessed are those who have passed into the great night. Praise for police and firefighters, paramedics, and all who work to keep us safe. Praise for all the workers and caregivers of every kind. Praise for the sound of notifications, messages from friends reaching across the distance. Give thanks for laughter and kindness. Praise be our four-footed companions with no forethought or anxiety, responding only in love. Praise for the seas and rivers, forests and stones who teach us to endure. Give thanks for your ancestors, for the wars and plagues they endured and survived. Their resilience is in your bones, your blood. Blessed is the water that flows over our hands and the soap that helps keep them clean, each time a baptism. Praise every moment of stillness and silence so new voices can be heard. Praise the chance at slowness. Praise be the birds who continue to sing the sky awake each day. Praise for the primrose poking yellow petals from dark earth. Blessed is the air clearing overhead so one day we can breathe deeply again. And when this has passed, may we say that love spread more quickly than any virus ever could. May we say this was not just an ending, but also a place to begin.
VUCA remains a vital part of the world and our community. And because we continue to need one another in the blessings of community, we take this time to invite you to give to our shared plate. I invite you to click on the Show More under the YouTube video to see more about how to do that. And you can see that on your screen as well. Today's offering will be shared with the Poor People's Campaign of Illinois, confronting the interlocking evils of systemic racism, poverty, ecological devastation, militarism, and the war economy. The campaign will hold a virtual moral march on Washington on June 20th. You can visit their website for more information. Please, please give as generously as you are able, and may what you give bring you joy. You can text to give, you can send in a check, or you can give from our website. If you send a check, please indicate on the memo line how your check should be applied. And now we rest into this offertory music with Gregory.
The Magdalene's Blessing by Jan Richardson. You hardly imagine standing here, everything you ever loved suddenly returned to you, looking you in the eye and calling your name. And now you do not know how to abide this ache in the center of your chest, where a door slams shut and swings open at the same time, turning on the hinge of your aching and hopeful heart. I tell you, this is not a banishment from the garden. This is an invitation, a choice, a threshold, a gate. This is your life calling to you from a place you could never have dreamed. But now that you have glimpsed its edge, you cannot imagine choosing any other way. So let the tears come as anointing, as consecration, and then let them go. Let this blessing gather itself around you. Let it give you what you will need for this journey. You will not remember the words. They do not matter. All you need to remember is how it sounded when you stood in the place of death and heard the living call your name.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
What a joy it is to welcome new members into our congregation today. Wonderful that you have felt drawn to join us in the journey at this time. And how strange it is to not be able to celebrate this important moment in the place that has housed this faith community in all its continual unfolding since 1958. So much of our shared religious experience together is about being in that particular space. The building holds an important part of our story. It's where we make meaning and how we share resources. It is the location from which we live our mission. And just as our bodies are the mechanisms through which our spirits are nurtured and empowered to engage with the world, but not the whole of who we are, our building is the envelope through which we share our message and values, yet we are so much more than that structure. When what we consider fixed has been stripped away, what is revealed are the things that matter most, the things that endure. On May 19th, 1841, Theodore Parker, transcendentalist, abolitionist, and Unitarian minister, preached a sermon at the ordination of Reverend Charles C. Shackford titled "The Transient and the Permanent in Christianity." Parker articulated a view that all that is ephemeral in religion, the doctrines we espouse with certainty in one age and despise in another, cannot erase what is essential in religious community. What is lasting is a search for truth, found by reason and collective wisdom through the love of God, the love of humanity, and doing the best thing in the best way from the highest motives. Parker spoke of the transience or the impermanence of scriptural teachings and understanding, and he claimed the permanence of love and faith in each other. As much as we value our building, it is only a container for what is powerful and lasting about our faith and our community. The relationships we have cultivated within the walls of our church and those we now nourish beyond them. The spiritual growth we hunger for and share with one another. And the manifestation of our mission, that high cause to make the world a better place for all beings. It is true that our formation as a congregation is in the DNA of the building. The love that is the spirit of our church has been forged through window repairs and walls painted and kitchens redesigned and terrazzo floors laid and mopped, in rummage sorted. Even though I miss being in your company in that space and the ease with which we could connect with a wave or a smile or a hug, the spirit of the church, sheltered in the space at 1330 Ridge Avenue, is so much further reaching and permanent than the concrete and glass container. One of our new members shared the story in our membership class about an early experience visiting our church and gave me permission to share it with you. On one of the first Sundays they visited, a hospitality team member said to them, "Come back whenever you want. This is your place. It belongs to you." And that really stuck with our new member. Every time they passed the building, they thought, "That's my place." Whoever spoke those words on that Sunday morning, I hope that you will reveal yourself to me, because I would like to give you a prize, a cookie or a gold star or something. You made an impact with that beautiful and true statement made to a newcomer, letting them know that our church is a place where each of us has ownership and where we create together what is everlasting. Love of self, love of one another, and love of all creation put forth into a vision of a world we commit to create together. Our faith encourages each person to contribute to the whole what they can, according to what they have, what they need, what feeds their spirit, and what serves the highest good. Each of us has a voice in the way the community runs and operates. Each of us has a stake in the mission and ends we have formed and aspire to together. We belong to each other. We belong to Unitarian Universalism. We belong to our mission of nurturing the human spirit for a world made whole. The most important part of that belonging is what we do with it, how we share it and use it to heal this broken and hurting world. Unitarian Universalist minister and consultant Reverend Jake Morrell has created a video titled "Church in These VUCA Times." If you haven't seen it, the link is in the information below. I recommend watching it at half speed because it goes pretty fast. VUCA stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. It's a term that has been used in business strategy and leadership development, exploring new ways to respond and adapt to change. Churches often adapt and respond slowly, moving at the speed of relationship. But the VUCA world is here, leaving us no choice but to respond and adapt quickly. Morrell's video lists 4 things we can expect in the next year or two: a stop and start society, a long-lasting economic recession, climate change and technology disruptions, and a hybrid society with more online and more small group activities. If we accept these as reasonable expectations, we can work together to adapt and respond to the challenges and opportunities ahead of us. As we are coming to understand, the return to our building will be slow, with stops and starts, and with some drastic modifications. The economic recession will mean difficult decisions and sacrifices. We'll need to build on our abilities to use technology. We'll have to deepen our network of small group ministry. And knowing our purpose, rededicating ourselves to our mission, why we are here, and how we live it, is even more critical. If you are not a part of a small group already, I encourage you to think about joining one. Reach out to me or Karen or Kathy or Adam, and we will help you get connected. There are covenant groups and book discussions, social justice teams, forum discussions, and the Wednesday evening gathering at 5:30. Each week, we start with a simple reflective service followed by a small breakout group discussion. Thanks to Karen Mooney and a small group of volunteers helping to coordinate, you'll be hearing more about proximity partners in the coming weeks, a network of connection to help members reach out to those living nearest to them. And if you have an idea for a small group or a class or a social gathering, let us know. Together we create clear pathways to belonging. And as our spirits long to be comforted, as we yearn for connection, let us be mindful that injustice and inequity continue. People of color, indigenous, and marginalized communities are and will remain at the front lines and disproportionately impacted by the coronavirus. Economic uncertainty is a reality for all of us, and those with the fewest resources are most vulnerable. The paradox of this pandemic is that our vulnerability and our strength both lie in our recognition of our oneness and our unified commitment to caring for another while being apart. This week, our Unitarian Universalist Association issued a statement with the strong recommendation that our congregations plan for virtual gatherings only for the next year. This is difficult to absorb. In considering this recommendation, they were guided by these principles and values which we, your staff and leadership, share, as does the Evanston Interfaith community. These principles and values include our abiding care and concern for the most vulnerable inside and outside our congregations, accessibility and inclusion for all of our members and friends to participate in our congregation regardless of health status, health vulnerability, or ability. Recognition that we are part of an interdependent web, and as such, our risk-taking and our protective actions affect far more than just ourselves. Our affirmation that good science, coupled with our UU values, must be the basis upon which we make decisions. Commitment to our mission, community, and theology are more important than ever. And our deep hope that we as a country and as a world will not return to, quote, normal when the pandemic is over. We seek to live into a new normal of more justice, more love, more equity, more sustainability, and more peace. This volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world needs healing, and we have to find creative ways to do that with our weary spirits and our collective separateness. Our hearts are breaking, and you may want to crawl under the covers or bury yourself in a Netflix binge or lose yourself in a puzzle. That is okay. And yet we remember the permanence of our interconnection, and that our striving to make the world whole has never been more important. Creative and dedicated people are organizing all the time and offering inspiring ways to live our shared mission. Folks are organizing UU the Vote, ensuring our elections remain fair and expanding access to voting. You may be able to donate blood or platelets. You might contribute to Connections for the Homeless or Interfaith Action of Evanston with money, supplies, or time to support those who are struggling with food and housing insecurity. You can contribute to the Ricky Birdsong race. Even though there won't be an actual race, you can still send the YWCA your participant fee, which supports the ongoing work of racial equity. You can sign petitions, send letters to the editor, make calls to your representatives. You can act in solidarity with those who are locked up, unable to escape this new danger in an already inhumane system. There's a long and regularly updated list of social justice actions that you can take on our website and in the newsletter. I feel incredibly grateful and privileged to have a home, to have enough food, and to have my loving family to be with during this time. Many of you have expressed similar feelings of being so fortunate. It is important to express that gratitude and to hold it close. Feeling guilty about what you have will not help anyone. And with great privilege comes great responsibility. May your grateful heart nurture your weary spirit, and then may it lead you to find a way to make the world a little more whole. Friends, I will say it again and again. You are not alone. The isolation is real and it bears down on us in different ways, but you are not alone. You are loved, you belong, and you are needed to heal the world. Together, we make the Unitarian Church of Evanston, practicing beloved community beyond walls. This virtual place is still your place. Together, we own the mission of this church, which is a vision of the permanence of love, that ever enfolding and transformative power, which the world needs now more than ever. May we together fulfill its purpose.
We can't hear you, Karen.
As we extinguish the chalice, please join in saying these words by the Reverend Kevin Jago. When the candle dims, the wax almost spent, the light turns amber like a sunset. Still, it provides light. Still, it provides heat. Still, it can kindle new flame and pass its glow on and contribute to new illumination when sunsets turn to new days, when seasons transform all, when the candle dims. All is not lost. All is not lost. Now, if you would join in singing with Morgan Mastrangelo on vocals and Gregory Schifrin on piano, we would be one.
As now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what in us is true. We would be one in living for each other, to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. Would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. As one we pledge ourselves to greater service, to love and justice strive to make us free.
In the words of Theodore Parker, be ours a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere, its temple all space, its shrine the good heart, its creed all truth, its ritual works of love. Go in peace, beloveds. See you soon.